Follow along, everybody. We're heading out on this cold morning out to Mom and Dad's house. I'm gonna go steal some branches. I am pretty sure Mom's not home right now, or at least I hope she's not home, because I try to sneak out here and cut branches for all the projects that we're doing on the farm and hope that she doesn't notice. So we'll see if she comes out and yells at me. Okay. So I honestly try and help her out because evergreen magnolias grow pretty quickly. And a lot of times they'll grow into the house. So I try and find branches that I can cut to keep away from her house. Fall down. Magnolia limbs down, onto the next bush. Okay, seriously, this is so beautiful. This is a Calicarpa, is its botanical name. Its other name goes by beautyberry. And these purple berries are just loaded. The leaves have just started finishing falling off. We got a few here that are coming off, but look at those beautiful berries on there. This bush right here outside Mom's house, they actually grow really quickly once they get established. So pruning it each year really helps. You can see like some of these shoots coming up off the top up here, Jessica, if you can see those. That's all 1 year's growth. Like there's like what, 4 or 5 feet of growth off of here. I'm gonna kind of select through here and pull the berries I want off. And then I'll come back out later and give it a nice kind of round it off for Mom, clean out some of the dead branches in the middle so that you'll get really nice thick full branches again next year. But these two are so beautiful right now. And these beauty berries make excellent branches into our porch pots. While I'm over here, I wanted to show you, there's lots of different types of evergreen magnolia, and I like to use them kind of depending on their leaf size in different projects around the farm. This is a much larger leaf magnolia, has the beautiful brown backing. I don't remember the name right off the top of my hand, but I will look it up and put it down in the comments below, or Jessica can throw it up on the screen. And if you check out, see the difference in the size? I believe this one right here is teddy bear, but again, I'm gonna verify it. We'll throw it up on the screen for you. You can see it has some little buds coming in on there. This particular variety kind of tends to bloom kind of on and off throughout the season. We'll clean those off and put them there. The smaller variety here I'm gonna use in some wreaths, and the larger ones are the ones I like to use in porch pots. Lots of different kinds, but they all grow really quickly. And if you can tell, kind of see the ground, they are evergreen. They do make kind of a big mess, in my opinion. The leaves are so big and they kind of just shed them year round. You got to kind of clean them up every once in a while. But in terms of a tree and the size of the tree, it's a big tree, looks good year round, just makes kind of a little bit of a mess. And Jessica, can you zoom in on that little pod up there? That is actually the seed pod. And a lot of times if I can, I'll go up and get those. Those seed pods hold on really well. And as they mature, those seed pods will kind of open up and they have like little berry seeds on the inside. Really pretty, really fun to use in arrangements. This particular variety does pretty well at getting quite a few of them on during the wintertime. I had to stop while we were going because I just think these hydrangeas, as we start to get cooler into the November months, and this November has been kind of mild, but you can, some of these leaves have been kept warmer. You can see the green, but as the cold comes in, you start to really get kind of those purple hues coming out. It's so pretty. And we can use, check this out, that beautiful blue blossom with the purple leaves. So pretty. I got a plan for these guys. All right, we're at least inside now, which is a whole lot warmer. This is our 10-inch pot. And if you look down underneath in here, you can see, we did the video last week a little bit about, this is Oasis or floral foam, and we use it to hold water in place with all the greens, and we also use it to kind of help keep everything in the pot really well. The part that I love about it is it's really great to add in some other pieces that are going to fill this out, and it'll keep water on it so they last all that much longer. We're going to start by working with some of our beauty berries. And I mean, these guys are just loaded with berries. We've got to stick it a ways down in there. So I'm going to take off some of these bottom ones for right now. I like to put a fresh cut on the bottom, give it a little bit of an angle to it. That way it kind of goes down in there really easy. And then we can take some of these smaller pieces that we took off and add them in and around the lower area. Make sure that we have a little bit of berries coming out all the way around from all the different sizes. This porch pot, we've used some noble greens, blue ice cypress, which is one of my favorites. I like to use a little bit of Douglas fir just to fill in. And then down in the bottom here, this is sequoia off of Sequoia gigantica. And it just has this real nice kind of weeping effect around the base of the plant. Magically, a bow has appeared by my side. Here's the deal. I'll admit I can't do everything. And making bows is a skill that I have not yet mastered. I'm practicing. In fact, in a future video, we should do that, Jessica. I need some bow making help. But in the meantime, for this project, the ladies have helped me out here. So I want this, bear with me for a second. We just kind of take some wire. I like to really make sure I get the wire on a sturdy branch because I want it to hold in there, especially when you're moving it in and out of your car. The wind is blowing, the neighbors come by and hit it with their feet as they're walking up your porch. Like, I wanted to make sure it's nice and sturdy. All right, we get that in there good. I'm gonna pull our tails down, fluff her up a little bit. Now here's where I think life gets fun. I just love that blue color. And this blue hydrangea that we snuck out of my mom's house, we're gonna tuck a little bit of this in here because I think it's gonna go really good with the blue ribbon, the blue ice cypress. I just love blue and purple together. So we have all these purple leaves. The leaves will probably eventually fall off before Christmas, but keeping it in this floral foam, the flowers are going to stay on here for quite a while. Find ourselves some little holes here. As long as this is out in the rain, like the floral foam, you don't really have to water it. Now, if it's pretty dry for a while, sunny, or maybe in a covered area where it doesn't get a lot of rain, you'll want to water this maybe once a week. And oftentimes you can kind of pick it up and just feel that it's lighter. Now for kind of the finishing touches, I like to take these, like, look at that giant cluster of beauty berries there. Work that in so some of the beauty berries coming out through the bow. And there is a nice porch pot with some beauty berries and a little bit of hydrangea. Clean up my beauty berry mess. And I want to talk to you a second about wreaths. This was the budded iced birch, if I can get it all out. All the different branches we had in here. This was the design that we came up with a couple weeks ago. And I've been working on some more, kind of on that same fashion. I am looking for a nice glossy, bigger, smooth leaf. I want a little bit of color or texture from a conifer, and then some nice branches to give it a whimsical look. And so this is what I've come up with for the next design. This is that smaller leaf magnolia. You see we got that bud coming on there. We're just gonna peel this back a little bit so we can see that blossom coming out. This magnolia has a lot smaller leaves, which I think will work good for the wreath design. We're gonna pull off a lot of these bottom leaves because I don't need a lot. These are gonna go on a 12-inch ring. And I just love those glossy leaves on there. For the cypress this time, I'm gonna use a lemon cypress. This is Wilma Goldcrest. There's several different options for conifers that have it's a Donner's Gold. There's a couple different ones. The Wilma Goldcrest I find has a really nice color to it, which I like. It grows really quickly, which I also like, especially when I'm trying to plant some stuff around the yard for cut greens. And I like to just take the bottom parts of the branches off so that when I wire it in, because as the branch dries over time, it's gonna shrink, and that wire that you put on there as they shrink sometimes comes loose. So if we get right down to the branch itself, we'll have better luck. And for this one, I'm using some curly willow. Curly willow this time of the year at the farm, oftentimes will still have leaves on it. So we just want to pull those off. And I mean, whimsical is great, but I think sometimes we want to trim them back just a little bit. It takes quite a few because curly willow is a smaller branch. So we want to get ourselves kind of a base with the branches. We got our branches here. So I'm going to get myself a nice little base. We're going to put a little bit of lemon cypress. Lay our magnolia down underneath that. I'm going to put one more little branch kind of nestled in the top so they all mix together. And we're going to take our paddle wire and get it started nice and good. And I'm going to make this super tight. I'm using a 24 gauge wire. If you are pretty strong, you could go down to a 22 or 20 gauge wire, because I could break this if I pull too hard. But I think the nice thing about it is it's very pliable, so it's easier to work with. We've got our noble based wreath, and I'm going to get this bundle right down in there next to the base of the ring. And I've left myself some tails here. Flip this over, and I want to get this really snug. And you can see we've got a nice mix of textures with the magnolia, the lemon cypress, and some nice curly branches coming up out the top. And we repeat this design 6 bunches of these all the way around the outside. So when the finishing touches are all done, you have a nice, beautiful wreath with lots of different textures and colors. We leave the tails on these nice and long, and it's super easy as you go. If they are a little too long for you, you could always trim some of them back to fit the design that works better for you. But you end up with this golden magnolia holiday wreath.